Starting off the day with this fantastic overlook of the Pittsburgh skyline. I ended my last video with the same overlook at night, so I figured, let's start at the same place and get some video of the skyline during the day. Check out the view along the Monongahela River. To the west is where this river emerges into the Allegheny River to form the Ohio River. As I pan to the east, you can see several bridges, and I think most, if not all, are painted yellow. Some of the tallest buildings include one PPG place on the left, which has several spires on the top. The cluster of tall buildings on the right, just beyond the arched bridge, are the U.S. Steel Tower, BNY Mellon Center, and One Oxford Center. I'm at one of the overlooks on Grandview Avenue. This is probably the best area to get a look at downtown Pittsburgh. Today I'll start my day here, then later on I'll go to a few spots in and around downtown.
Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome everyone! This is the fourth video in my Pennsylvania fall road trip series. The weather hasn't been too good recently, but on this video the weather will be perfect. So let's see what today brings. Let's go!
I need to go down that very steep hill to see the river close up, so instead of driving down there, I'm going to take the Monongahela Incline Railway. This marker mentions the Monongahela Incline Plane was built in 1870 and is a city of Pittsburgh historic landmark. I did not realize this railway was over 150 years old. This marker says the Monongahela Incline is the oldest continuously operating funicular railway in the United States. I have no idea what funicular means. This was originally used to transport factory workers from their home up here down to where they work down the hill. Conquering Coal Hill. This mentions the flat land at the rivers was where all the industry was, and the housing was up here. So this railway opened in 1870 as an alternative to climbing the steps from the river to the top of this hill. This mentions the routine maintenance on the railway, which is still done manually, with workers on the tracks performing work. That still looks like a very dangerous job. More photos from when the Monongahela Railway opened, and you can see some of the buildings at the top of the railway. Can you imagine walking up and down that hill every day before the railway opened? Waiting for the rail car to start moving, you see how steep it is. I think the trip down takes about 5 minutes. Oh, and I forgot, the cost was $3.50 round trip, so it's not bad. $1.75 each way. The rail car is just starting to get underway now. It starts off very slowly, then picks up speed in the middle. We have some people in the seats near us, and I think they'll be walking across that bridge. We probably should have done something similar and taken the other railway down, which is closer to the places we want to see in downtown. The other railway is called the Duquesne Railway.
Where the cable from? Too soon to joke about that.
Alright, I'm at the level of the river. I'm not sure if I can get all the way to the river from here, but the view from down here is fantastic, especially with clear blue skies. The shopping area is called Station Square. There are a lot of shops and restaurants here, and a large hotel. If you're from North Georgia, the equivalent might be a smaller Avalon or Halcyon. This area opened in 1879 as a goods transportation hub along the Pittsburgh and Lake Erie Railroad. But by 1970, this area was no longer needed as an industrial hub, so over time this became the dining and entertainment district that you see today. I just crossed over a bridge that takes me to the boat docks. But I'll stay right here and get another great view of the Pittsburgh skyline. It's really interesting how Pittsburgh has transformed itself from a city that mostly depended on steel manufacturing into a city that has many major financial services and healthcare companies, as well as numerous colleges and universities. Quick look at what the railcar looks like. There are several levels with their own doors. I probably should have sat on the upper level, but that's okay. Now making my way back up the hill. It starts out slow, but then it'll pick up speed soon. Back at the top, and there's a railcar leaving the station. You see the colors of the railcar match the buildings, and the car is not that big. I think each car maybe fits 18 or 20 people. You should see the railcar speed up once it's far enough away from the building. So wait for it, and there it goes. One more look at this view from the Overlook before I drive downhill to downtown. The crowds weren't too bad last night, so I'm glad I got to take some nighttime footage. Although I think my new DJI Osmo Pocket 3 would have done much better. Alright, let's go downtown. I'm less than thrilled about these suicide lanes, which can go in either direction based on the overhead indicators, where the green arrow is safe to drive, but the red X is not safe to drive, but you just never know. They have a lot more suicide lanes than the Northeast. I got myself a parking reservation on Spot Hero. That's pretty much my go-to whenever I need a parking garage. Alright, I've got my car in the garage, now I'm heading toward Market Square. There's a restaurant here I've heard good things about. The place is Primanti's. They have numerous locations around Pittsburgh. They have something unique about their sandwiches. They opened their first location in 1933, and most of their sandwiches are made with grilled deli meat, cheese, coleslaw, lettuce, tomato, and fries. That's right, the fries are inside the sandwich. Mom and I both got Reuben sandwiches, but Mama got hers on marble rye bread, and I got mine on the traditional Italian bread. The meat is steaming hot right off the grill. And this is what it looks like. All the fries and the coleslaw are in the sandwich. It is meant to be a meal you can eat with one hand. So I got the roast beef sandwich. It looks pretty much the same as mine, with the super thick slices of Italian bread. I just noticed the fries have some seasoning on them. Not as much as the slaw as on my sandwich, but it still looks really good. Here's a side view to see how much of everything is on my dad's sandwich. It doesn't have as much meat as we thought. It does have a lot of fries, maybe a tablespoon of slaw on top. So how does it taste?
I'm sorry, I didn't like it.
We all thought our sandwiches were kind of bland and loaded down with fries. The fries weren't as seasoned as we thought, and the Italian bread was a little dry. After all the good things we've heard about Primanti Brothers, I'm really disappointed. This was the one PPT place building I'm next to, and then I'll swing around in front of 5th Avenue Place. Back to Primanti Brothers. Some people said the only location to go to is in the strip Pittsburgh location, which is along the Allegheny River, but I didn't see it being much better than this location. Anyway, I'm walking to my next stop. This is Point State Park, more commonly known as The Point. This is a 38-acre park which ends at the point where the Monongahela and Allegheny Rivers form the Ohio River. I believe this is the finish line of the annual Great Race 10K. Once again, flashbacks to my runcation era. This is also the endpoint for a 350-mile-long hiking and biking trail between here and Washington, D.C. This is also the place where major arts festivals and other similar events are held, such as the Three Rivers Arts Festival. Get to the chopper! I would just say Pittsburgh seems like a large Midwestern town like Omaha. Not really part of the Northeast like Philadelphia. This concrete area was where Fort Pitt was located. Fort Pitt was built by the British in 1761 during the French and Indian War. The fort was built in the shape of a pentagon with points to the end, which are called bastions. The fort was used in the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, and the Civil War. Fort Pitt was taken down in the 20th century for an archaeological excavation. Part of the fort remains in the nearby Fort Pitt Museum. The circular marker is the center of the fort. The confluence of the rivers is up ahead, beyond this large fountain. The water shoots up to 150 feet high. That's 15 stories tall. I've seen this water fountain from those overlooks. From way up there, it's a neat fountain. But right next to it, it's really gorgeous. A beautiful fountain. There are some really great views from this point. Also a great place to get a drink from a floating bar. Over there is Acrisure Stadium, where the Pittsburgh Steelers play. Another view of the stadium on the right as I look directly down the Ohio River. I have now been to both ends of this river. It ends at Cairo, Illinois, where the river merges into the Mississippi River. This marker says point of conflict, point of renewal, point of confluence. And notice what's etched on the triangle where Fort Pitt once stood. I mentioned Pittsburgh remind me of Omaha, but Pittsburgh has so much more history, and they have major league sports teams. I cannot get enough of the fountain and the views of the city from here. Really fantastic. I can see why people that live here deal with the tough winters. Alright, it's time for me to hit some places while still in Pittsburgh. But just outside the downtown area, so I'll get the car and drive to my next stop. Just a few blocks from downtown, in the region of Pittsburgh known as Northside, is the amazing outdoor art museum called Randyland. If your travels take you to Pittsburgh, take a short drive to Randyland. Randyland was created by Randy Gilson in 1995, paying $10,000 for the property using a credit card. Today, over 200,000 people visit Randyland each year. It is one of the most photographed locations posted to Instagram and is considered a catalyst for the cultural rejuvenation of Pittsburgh. Gilson has quite an imagination, and he has created quite a legacy for Pittsburgh. This place is very colorful, lots of bold, bright colors everywhere, and lots of plants and flowers everywhere. There are so many mannequins, small statues, and many recycled and upcycled items displayed here. Randyland is free to visit and donations are optional. Randy Gilson was born in the town of Homestead, Pennsylvania, and during much of his boyhood, he was homeless and in poverty. Gilson moved to Pittsburgh in 1982 and became known for, quote, guerrilla gardening by planting over 800 gardens and empty lots throughout Pittsburgh. His life partner, Mac McDermott, passed away from prostate cancer in 2019, and he was considered by many to be the backbone of the museum. Also in 2019, Randyland received the Mayor's Award for Public Art. Randyland stayed open during the height of the pandemic. There's a picture of Randy Gilson. Many people also credit Randyland with the revitalization of the North Side. In many interviews, Randy Gilson said none of this would be possible without great neighbors that support him. He also says he's not an artist or a gardener, but he does say that Randyland is proof that anyone can do anything if they just give it a try. There's a painted map on this building also, showing where many of Gilson's favorite places are located. These places include where the Ferris wheel was invented, the largest birdhouse in America, and the Aperture football stadium. Now I have more reasons to return to Pittsburgh. I hope to return to Pittsburgh soon. I'm not sure if I'll go to any sporting events, but Pittsburgh has a lot of museums and other great roadside attractions. Some great museums near here are the Andy Warhol Museum and the Mattress Factory. They don't sell bedroom sets there. But if you want somewhere incredibly colorful, imaginative, and welcoming, I highly recommend you visit Randyland. It's so amazing that Randy Gilson did most of the painting himself, including a number of these painted murals on his buildings. He is definitely an artist, even though he says he's not. Let me know in the comments if you visited Randyland, or if you visited other great places in Pittsburgh that I didn't feature on this video. But now, I have to head out of Pittsburgh and make my way toward the Great Lakes. One last view of the Pittsburgh skyline, and then back to the interstate. I need to make it to Lake Erie by sunset.
And that's it for my visit to Pittsburgh. I was going to combine it with the rest of my day, but that video would be too long, almost an hour. So I figured Pittsburgh by itself would make a good video. I'm still really disappointed in Primanti Brothers. I also wish I'd gone to some other food spots. There's so much German and Italian influence. There's so many good food spots in Pittsburgh. I didn't get any pierogies, and I also didn't go to Sari's Candy, 2 things on my list. Anyway, you'll see the final part of my trip where I end on the shores of Lake Erie next time. Thanks for watching, bye!